How often should you be training jiu-jitsu? I say every single day. Oh, I just started though. How much should I? You should go all the time, as much as possible. Well, because here's why. The only way to mastery is to stack up hours. And the only way to get more hours than your peers and to accelerate the process, ultimately, is to be on the mat more. So that doesn't mean you have to go hard all the time. That doesn't mean it has to look a certain way. But the more hours, I just believe in total immersion, dude. If I'm not gonna learn to speak Spanish off a Duolingo app. You know what I mean? I'm gonna learn to speak Spanish the quickest way by moving to Mexico and being forced to order all my food and get all my directions and have all my social interactions in Spanish. And so I think immersion is really, honestly, the only way to learn jiu-jitsu.
See, and I'm more the tortoise and he's the hare. So I'm just plodding along for forever. Like, I'm just going to be doing this for 60 more years. So what I suggest for especially new people that are just signing up, and and I think the answer is going to depend on what stage you're at in jiu-jitsu also. But I say you're brand new day one, I want you training twice a week. And I want you to see how it feels with your body. And I want you to work yourself up to at least 3 days a week. But I want you to go in gradually. That way it's not a shock to your system because you've never done anything like this before. And, a lot of guys will go ham and they need their body to recover so that they don't injure themselves. So I want it to be a consistent, steady climb over time, not let's jump in the deep end of the pool and
I don't do anything in the
sink or
shallow
swim.
end. If I could only go 3 days a week, I would quit. I'm talking about me, because I don't do anything like a little bit. But I also only have like 2 things I can do in my life. I can strangle a guy and I can play a guitar. Everything else, I'm totally lost on. You know what I mean? So just my personality, I think it just depends on the person probably. Not everybody's weird. Like I'm a crazy person.
That's still you exercising twice a week. That's still you gaining a skill set that you didn't have before. I think just being in contact with jiu-jitsu itself, getting some just combat time, getting your frustrations out, getting your sweat on, it's jiu-jitsu, it's great. Yeah, however many days you can do it.
But you got to be honest with yourself though. And you can't get all sad sack when the guys who train 4 days a week are twice as good as you after 6 months.
Yes.
Because they have twice as many hours. So that's the main thing that how can I go 2 days a week and still get my black belt quick?
That's not
you can't. There's no way to cheat the process. The only thing that matters at the end of the day are the mat hours. And you can have quality mat hours and make that happen quicker. Yeah. You can have subpar mat hours and it'll be a little slower. But ultimately, you've got to get X number of real hours on the mat. Otherwise, you're just not going to pull it off. So if you're a guy who's only going to get to go once or twice a week, you need to just be honest with yourself about
what do you think
what
about
are you actually expecting?
Doing more rounds. So like I myself only usually roll 3 days a week and maybe 4, but I get like 30 rounds in.
Yeah, that's
during
hours.
That time.
That's hours.
So, you might consider, if you can only come twice a week, have longer rolls or stay on the mat longer.
Yeah.
If you have that option. Some schools would just have a limited.
Yeah, and maybe you've only got an hour and a half to give twice a week. Dude, give what you can.
Yeah.
But be honest with yourself about how long this is going to take and how hard this is going to be.